Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Gabby, and if you've never been here before, never watched any of my videos, have no idea what I do, I cover true crime cases, and all the cases that I cover are a little bit older. They're all basically 20 years or older, so if that's something that you might be interested in, maybe go down below, click the subscribe button, and also make sure to turn on the post notifications to be notified every time that I upload. So if you don't already know, here on my channel for the last 4 months of the year, September, October, November, and December, I have different themes of every month. November is always No Trace November, and that is when I go over disappearance cases. This is covering cases with no trace or very little trace when it comes to what happened to the person. Today's video, the first video of No Trace November, is a little bit different. I have a case for you all that we don't actually know is a case or not. If you've never heard of this story, it may surprise you. I first heard about this one about a year ago. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't stop looking into it for hours upon hours. Then the next day, coincidentally, fellow true crime YouTuber Georgia Marie uploaded a video covering it. Georgia did an amazing job with her video. If you want to check that out, I will have it linked down below in the description of this video. I feel like enough time has passed since her video was released where I want to cover it here on my channel as well for my audience. With all that being said, this is the mystery of Joanna Lopez. Now, I can't do this video without giving credit to the Reddit page r/Joannalopez. The two main moderators on there, usernames CringeNeneBaby2 and BubblegumTrad, and over 5,600 members have helped keep this case alive and have done everything they can to try to give this story some sort of resolution. I have spent hours upon hours on this Reddit page, and I am convinced that if there is a conclusion to all of this one day, that it will be someone a part of this page that is responsible for it. They are some of the most determined sleuths I have ever seen online. So let's start at the very beginning. Television back in the day wasn't like it is today, which is weird to even say because so many people today don't even have cable television. They have streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, or Disney+. For some of the hours that most people were asleep in their beds, there were no television shows simply airing all night long like we have today. A lot of the time, it would just be static or some sort of public service announcement. So, during the very early hours of January 14th of 1989, it may have taken some people in Chicago, Illinois by surprise when NBC5 WMAQ TV played the national anthem and then followed it up with the information of a missing girl. Appearing on the screen was a blurry black and white photo of a girl supposedly named Joanna Lopez with a number to call in case anyone knew where she was, and a banner in the left-hand corner that read "Missing" in all capital letters. Many claim that the information stayed up on the screen the entire night until morning broadcast continued. No music, no static, just a light hum in the background. We can thank fuzzymemories.tv for uploading the clip to their YouTube channel, The Museum of Classic Chicago Television, on January 12th of 2015. The first time this clip ever hit the internet, though, was when it was posted to the website fuzzymemories.tv on August 24th of 2009. It didn't really gain a whole lot of attention from the public until it was uploaded on YouTube, though. Now, Reddit user Route66fan did a little diving and located an old TV guide on newspapers.com and theorized that the Joanna Lopez insert and the other clips before it posted by the Museum of Classic Chicago Television may have aired after the 1954 Frank Sinatra movie Suddenly. WMAQ ran this movie between 3 to 5 a.m. on January 14th of 1989. They believe that based on the length of the movie and with commercial times included, that the Joanna Lopez test card would have shown on WMAQ around 4:40 a.m. And based on the TV guide, the show Divorce Court would have started at 5 a.m., meaning that the original thought that the Joanna Lopez test card stayed up on screen all night wouldn't actually be true. It would have been more like 20 minutes. No one, though, has been able to verify this for certain. We don't know exactly what time the Joanna Lopez broadcast was aired. People who came across this clip online, though, were overtaken by curiosity. Who was this woman, and most importantly, had she ever been found? Missing persons databases online showed no results for a Joanna Lopez out of Chicago. Showing cases of missing people wasn't something WMAQ did on the regular, but it was something they had done before. For instance, we know that they showed a test card for missing girl Trisha Kellett on January 24th of 1988, a year before they showed Joanna's. Trisha was also a local case. She had gone missing from Chicago, Illinois. What was bizarre about them showing this card for Trisha was that Trisha had gone missing 6 years prior to them showing it. When they showed Trisha on the screen, they also showed the date she had gone missing, May 7th of 1982. They didn't do that for Joanna. Due to WMAQ primarily showing missing children at times, it is believed Joanna Lopez was under the age of 18 when she had gone missing, whenever that was. Many have looked into the photo of Joanna. Although it's not the best quality, and that's quite obvious, people have pointed out that her glasses look like glasses similar to ones in style in the 1980s. But when in the 1980s? All we know is that she had gone missing sometime before January 14th of that year of 1989. That wouldn't be the only time she was shown on WMAQ though. It would happen again in 1991, but this time only for a few seconds, and then the screen went black. Why is that though? Well, Reddit user TelaneBC explains in a post. So I spoke to an editor today with WMAQ Channel 5 in Chicago. I will not give personal details, the name of the editor, or the number I used. But what I can tell you about the second airing is this. Back in 1989, when a station would broadcast anything, it was recorded on a master copy. From that, I understand the main master copy of their original sign-off was lost. See, back then, you would have your sign-off tape with your PSAs, and then it would switch over to the missing person slate, stay on air for 2 hours, and everyone would go home. In this case, the master copy was reused as a sign-off, and it had the recording of Joanna Lopez missing at the end of it. Once the mistake was seen, it was pulled and the station went dark. So it works like this. Tape of PSAs, national anthem plays, then switch to Joanna's slate. Boom, master copy is recording this the whole time. Now tape gets lost or worn out due to age and overuse, so pop in old master copy so they can play end of air stuff. Pop in tape, see Joanna, say, oh shit, and go dark because it's old tape. Hope this clears up the second airing. This definitely makes complete sense, and it seems like even the people running the Reddit page and many others agree. Where does one even start with this though? There isn't much to even go off of at all. There isn't even a date of when she had gone missing. All we have is a name, a low quality photo, and a number. When it comes to the number, 312-744-5594, it was discovered that it belonged to the Youth Division of the Chicago Police Department. The commander of the division at the time was Joe P. Mayo. He was born in 1930 and passed away in 2008, so he is unfortunately not around today to answer any questions himself. We do know that he took part in the Missing Persons Outreach Program, which began printing pictures and information of missing children on milk cartons in the mid-1980s. If you call the number today, and yes, I did, it will give you a dial tone. The number is not currently in use. Let's focus on the photo at hand. We have this extremely low quality, fuzzy black and white photo of this girl. Some say it looks like she has eyes like a fly, but it's obviously just larger lensed glasses. We can tell that she has a shorter hairstyle, a deeper skin tone. Some think that she may be biracial, possibly black and Latina. She's wearing a lighter colored shirt, possibly white, and it's difficult to tell what exactly she's standing in front of. Some have guessed curtains on a window. Many people on Reddit have tried to enhance this photo, and it is not an easy photo to work with. One Reddit user posted a reconstruction photo they worked on and even showed the steps they took to accomplish the photo. This is the final product. Whether this is close to what she looked like, we don't know, but they did do a great job at it. Many have tried to enhance the photo by lightening it and even adding color to it, but it never seems to do much to intensify facial features. Then there's others who have done their own personal sketches of her from scratch. Some have tried to put her photo through an AI program, but in the end, it kind of morphs the photo a little bit because there's not much to pick up on. It doesn't seem like anyone has any information to add regarding this suspected missing teenage girl from the 1980s. Some people floated around the theory that possibly it was just a complete hoax to get the internet in an uprise. Many pointed fingers at the Museum of Classic Chicago Television since they were the first ones to upload the content to the internet. They responded to this claim in a YouTube comment saying, "This whole thing is ridiculous. Of course it wasn't a hoax. Just because they used a bad picture of Joanna Lopez for her missing slide, I'm sure that was the only photo provided to WMAQ. So talk to the family or whoever provided it on that one." If anyone had asked me, I could have told you that the missing slide wasn't a one-time thing. It was something they did as a public service to try and get more info out on a missing kid, just like the milk cartons. Any information, any picture would have been better than nothing. So people need to get off judging an over 30-year-old overnight editorial decision that was just trying to help. This mystery is only a mystery because it doesn't have enough available information to resolve it. The name is fairly common, the picture is bad, and there's no last seen date, all of which add up to making it almost impossible to track down the outcome, not because it is some great mysterious circumstance. For all we know, Joanna Lopez might have been a temporary runaway that was only gone for a week, and they decided to put their picture up there, and then maybe she was found a week after. Thus, no great searchable record on the internet. Contrast this with the Trisha Kellett case, where she was missing for over 6 years at this point and was a bona fide child abduction. That post may sound a bit harsh to people, but this is a media archive website and channel. They posted this content along with many others, having no idea that it was going to gain the attention it did, and they definitely had no idea they were going to have hundreds of people online accusing them of falsifying a missing persons case for attention. Also, what they were saying in the post could be true. Joanna Lopez could have gone missing for a short period of time, was found, and then went on in life having no idea that this was going to stem into an enigma of the internet decades later. We do have to take into consideration that a majority of people who go missing are located within the first 24 to 48 hours. Could she have been one of those people? That is a possibility. Or she could have never been located and someone who knew her simply never put her into a missing persons database. That is a possibility as well. People, of course, have reached out to WMAQ. They verified the broadcast was real, and they have stated that the information regarding Joanna Lopez had been submitted to them by an anonymous source at the time. The image of her is so blurry because it was actually photocopied from the original, and where the original photo is today is completely unknown. The photo that they used for Trisha is actually a colored image originally, but was shown in black and white on WMAQ. So it makes you think, could the original photo of Joanna also be in color, wherever it is? Reddit user Chris Polygon did go through with FOIA, or the Freedom of Information Act, which is a United States law that allows citizens to obtain unreleased or uncirculated information and documents controlled by the US government upon request. I've gone through with FOIA requests a few times for videos here on my channel and helped some families go through with it to get more information. It's really helpful to obtain information on a case that maybe doesn't have a whole ton of information out there regarding it. Sometimes you'll get some really helpful information back, and sometimes you'll get documents back where a lot of the information is completely redacted. It's kind of a hit or miss. Also, a lot of the time it's not completely free. You do have to pay a fee. Reddit user Chris Polygon, though, submitted a FOIA request for Joanna Lopez to authorities in Chicago from the years of 1988 to 1990, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem like police were able to locate anything between those years. This Reddit user proceeded to request any information on Joanna Lopez from any year in Chicago, Illinois, but authorities deemed this too broad of a search. Reddit user Binding Bloodline did state, though, that Illinois is a body-present state, which means that even if you're missing for decades, you cannot be declared deceased unless your body has been located. Illinois law also states that they will not release any records to anyone that contains information on someone who is still alive. Could that be why information on Joanna Lopez has never been released to people through FOIA? I do have to mention mention though that the Chicago Police Department does not care about this internet mystery at all. They do not seem interested in the slightest to find out what happened to Joanna Lopez. Some have theorized whether she may have been in foster care. Maybe that is why she is so hard to find. As Reddit moderator Bubblegum Trad highlights in a post, when a foster kid or JDC, Juvenile Department of Corrections, recipient goes missing, there are several steps that legally must be taken. Caseworkers have to meticulously document every detail about a child, down to a child's most recent haircut, or they risk losing their job and facing charges. Thus, when a foster kid goes missing, there is a very detailed protocol that must be followed. This includes detailed reporting and the state sending out missing posters. Even when this protocol is sent out, it is given to the news as an absolute last resort. It's very rare to see reporting on missing persons cases or even deaths in this industry. If it is given to the news, it would be supplied by a state official. An anonymous source wouldn't be able to do so on her behalf. Moderators have also combed through the Chicago Tribune and Daily Herald from 1970 to 1990 and have found nothing. Not a single thing on a Joanna Lopez. The last thing that we really know is that in February of 2022, both moderators for the Reddit page ended up tracking down a Joanna Lopez. This Joanna Lopez fit the description and location of the Joanna Lopez from the broadcast. They located her number, gave her a call, and the woman on the other end verified her name is in fact Joanna Lopez. She stated that she had actually ran away at the age of 18 for a very short period of time. This woman stated that she had to go and would call back with more information. She never called back though. Days passed, weeks passed, months passed, and now years. The moderators had called and texted a few times, but never heard a reply and decided that if she wanted to reach out and explain more, that she would. They didn't want to keep bothering her. There is a possibility that this was the Joanna Lopez many have been searching for, but maybe it just took her by complete surprise having someone call out of the blue and ask her about her past like that. Possibly she got off the phone, did a little bit of digging online, and saw how many people were curious about her and whether she was real to even begin with, and if she was ever found or not. This most certainly could freak someone out a little bit. If she was 18 at the very beginning of 1989, then she would be born in 1970, and that would make her 52 when they spoke to her. Since that incident in 2022, they have never spoke to this woman since. Could she ever decide to reach out to verify anything? Possibly, even if it is to verify that she isn't the Joanna Lopez from the broadcast. We'll just have to wait and see. Internet sleuths have searched through countless missing persons pages to see if maybe she was put under a different name at some point, or possibly they misspelled her name, but that doesn't seem to be the case. They have searched through Jane Does all throughout the United States, and it doesn't seem like any of them match the physical description of Joanna Lopez or the time frame she would have gone missing. They have even looked through yearbooks from the Chicago area around that time. It all leads nowhere. Some have theorized the person who submitted the information was anonymous because they may have been involved in some sort of criminal activity. Some have theorized that the person who submitted the information hadn't actually been anonymous and the news station told a lie to protect the person's identity. All we know is that there seems to be no digital records for her. If anything was ever on paper, it has never been digitized. Authorities themselves could possibly be able to find out something, but again, they don't seem too interested in what many consider to be nothing more than just an internet urban legend. The photo, though, is of somebody, whether her name be Joanna Lopez or not, whether she actually had gone missing or is still missing today. Someone has to know who the girl in the photo is. She's someone's daughter. She has a story. What her story is, though, is unknown. For now, her story is 2 broadcasts on a Chicago news station, 1 an accident, an upload of the original broadcast, and a whole community of people searching for answers decades later. If this story is intriguing to you in any way, this is actually not the only story like it. The Mexican TV channel Canal 5 would air public service announcements around midnight that highlighted missing persons cases. Most of them showed cases with a lot of information. One, though, had minimal. In 2001, they showed the photo of a girl, her name allegedly Selene Delgado Lopez, her age being 18, and the location of her disappearance being Mexico City. This is another case that will take you down an equally baffling rabbit hole because no one has ever been able to verify any records of this supposed missing girl. A lot of the time, Joanna and Selene will go hand in hand. Coincidentally, they share the same last name. That is genuinely all of the information as of right now that I have to share for you all regarding Joanna Lopez. I am truly curious to see what you all have to say regarding this one. There are a lot of people out there that believe that Joanna Lopez never existed and that this is somehow completely made up. I am not one of those people. I personally feel like she maybe is one of those people who had gone missing for a very short period of time and then was found. She very well could be the person that the two moderators tracked down, and maybe it did make her a little bit uncomfortable and she didn't want to speak to anyone further. When it comes to the police department, we have covered so many cases here on my channel where the family is involved and they're pushing for answers, pushing for some sort of resolution in the case, and still authorities won't do anything. So today we have a potential case where the family isn't even involved. So of course they're most likely not going to do anything. At the end of the day, I just hope that Joanna Lopez, whether she really is the woman that the moderator spoke to or not, that she's just okay. That she was eventually found, or if she did run away, she eventually went home, and that today she's still alive, doing well, and sleeping peacefully at night. As an internet sleuth myself, as long as everybody's being respectful, I can understand why people have become so fixated on piecing together this puzzle. Definitely let me know your opinions about all of this down below in the comments. Do you believe that people should just move on, give it a rest, and focus on disappearance cases of people who are actually missing, that we have proof of being gone? Or do you believe that people should continue in the search and try to see if they can find out what actually happened to her? Thank you all though for taking a little bit of time out of your day to hear about this bizarre story of Joanna Lopez. Have an amazing rest of your day wherever you are. Stay safe, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.